The Central Organization of Trade Unions, or COTU, shop stewards meeting was ongoing but has concluded at the COTU head office in Nairobi, and the meeting was in preparation of COTU's Golden Jubilee, which will be in commemoration of Labor Day. Now, some of the issues the labor movement will be pushing for is the improvement of minimum wage. KTN's Patrick Amimo is currently at the meeting, and Patrick Amimo, as you were concluding that specific meeting earlier on, you did say that that issue of the current wage kept coming up again. So what exactly does COTU want?
Thank you, Edith. With me here at Solidarity Building, the COTU headquarters, where I am with the COTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli, and there's been a shop steward forum ahead of the 50th anniversary, which is a golden jubilee for COTU. And the things to do with the wages, minimum wages, has been a running subject here. Maybe, Brother Atwoli, what is the organization doing when it comes to this issue of minimum wage? What do you want to see addressed? Because you've invited the head of state to be the guest of honor during the Labor Day celebrations.
Globally, the minimum wage is supported by the International Labour Organization because we have so many Kenyans who are not covered by collective bargaining agreements, some who are employed by individuals, some who are in very small enterprises as workers. They are always helped by the government to set up a minimum wage per every industry or sector of our economic activities. But in the absence of government coming in and setting up a minimum wage, then it opens a leeway for exploitation. And this is why we are telling the president and the government to be very, very, very careful with what some lobbyists, lobbyists or business lobbyist groups like KEPS are saying, that the wages in Kenya must be pegged on productivity. Kenya doesn't have efficient productivity center that measures. We all depend on the statistics collected by the Bureau of Statistics under the Ministry of Finance. So if we leave it like that, Kenyans will be exploited very badly. It is the duty of any given government or responsible government to protect its employees or workers by setting a minimum wage. This has been a practice here. This is a practice in Zimbabwe. This is a practice in Zambia. Anybody who subscribes to the International Labour Organization conventions must protect workers' minimum wage. So we are expecting, last year, Kambi cheated workers in daylight that by August, government would have regulated minimum wage. He didn't. Now we are expecting His Excellency the President, who is our guest during May 1st. He's the presiding officer. We will be listening to him. He will be the counseling person. He will be the person giving us a word of advice to set up, to increase a minimum wage by whichever percentage that he has been advised by his economists. That is what we are expecting. If we don't do that, most of Kenyans are going to be exploited in these harsh economic situations that we are in. Two, you are aware that the prices on our energy, oil, and other things, electricity, went down. Food and transport has remained, and housing, it has remained constant. It hasn't gone down. So this is directly affecting workers.
Thank you so much. And maybe just as a parting shot on corruption, we see the government is fighting corruption. What do you want to see as workers when it comes to corruption, the fight?
Our position, me and Brother Wilson Sosion, is that those people who have been named, even suspected, they should not come back to government. And we are appealing to anti-corruption. Before Friday this week, people should be arraigned in court. This issue of dallying, that they are still questioning people when there is credible evidence. And if they are not having evidence, they should come to us, we will provide them. Corruption is the biggest sin, and this is the corruption made President of Nigeria, Jonathan. There were two things, Boko Haram and corruption, that made him lose. And we don't want Uhuru to lose 2017. If there will be corruption, and these are our own made Al-Shabaab in Kenya, because these are own, they are not from Somalia. If they are not tamed, then the president will have a big problem in 2017.
Thank you so much, Atwoli. In fact, it's because of time we could not go ahead, but there are many issues that have been addressed by workers here, and we expect to hear more when it comes to Labor Day.